USS Missouri was here in Pearl Harbor, relieving us so that we could go back to the United States for an overhaul. So Christmas Day, 1944, is a day that I will never forget. And that's when we started and ended up in Bremerton, Washington. From Bremerton, I left the ship, and ultimately, I ended up in 1946 in Namrud 3, Naval Medical Research Unit number 3 in Cairo, Egypt. For the next 2 years, I was in Cairo, Egypt. And in the meantime, I'd married and had a daughter. And my wife joined me in Cairo in January of 1947. September 21st, 1947, the first case of cholera in Egypt was diagnosed. The first case in 45 years. Cholera in those days had a 60% mortality rate. 6 people out of every 10 that contacted cholera died sometimes within 4 hours of the time that they became exposed to cholera. Our unit came up with a treatment for cholera, which is still used today. It's the use of water and fluids to replace the fluids that were lost in the body. There's a product called Pedialyte that's on the market for juvenile diarrhea. Pedialyte came from the unit that I was in Cairo. I'm wearing a cartouche. Now, a cartouche is an ancient Egyptian methodology to identify an individual. You're laughing. Now, this cartouche identifies Naval Medical Research Unit number 3 in Cairo. Namrud 3, when I was in it, had 28 people, 28 men. We were all men in those days. Now it has 135 people, and it's the oldest and largest infectious disease control unit in the Department of Defense. It still is in existence. I was there 2 years ago. I had an absolutely great time. It was so wonderful to get back to Cairo and see what it was like 40 years afterwards. I retired from the service, and my first civilian job was personnel director for the Elikai Hotel. I opened the Elikai Hotel. I was a 10th employee, and when I left, we had over 600. I later ran the Convalescent Center of Honolulu, then I ran the State Hospital Association, and I retired from that about 10 years ago, just in time to get involved with the Hawaii Leadership Academy, which is an experience I will never forget. I adore this lady. Thank you.
And here we are, 10 years later, and you look at this place. Can you believe it?
I can't. It's just unreal.
Do you remember when it was nothing?
I sure do. Oh, the first time I came up here, it was just unreal. There wasn't a window, there wasn't a door, there wasn't a toilet, there wasn't anything that was intact. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
And you took that and you shared my vision. A lot of people, even my board of directors, said, she's crazy. That place is a dump. And look what it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just admiring some of it. It's just absolutely magnificent what you have done in the last 10 years.
Thank you. I can have a vision up the yin yang, but if I don't have a man like you, that is, let's put the vision. And here we still have this project book that you did, and their daily record of everything that happened and what we needed to get done. And I have this long list that you made of exactly how many windows, how many yards and feet and square feet, the size of the buildings, the contents of the building, everything. You're so thorough. Your military and Ilokai experience certainly benefited us. Hey there. And so these are just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for your expertise. And you just know that we'll always, always remember you. And your spirit lives in this building forever. All these buildings, all these 20 acres, all of this is because you took the initiative. Even though you were retired, you probably worked harder that year than you did in your whole life.
I did. There's no question about that. Yeah.
So you're a wonderful.
Aloha.
Aloha.